And just because you start omoplata on the bottom, with all the rolling and spinning and jumping, you're going to pass through the top position. If you're not familiar with this, you're going to be at a total loss about what to do. So as soon as I identified the sitting on the shoulder position as a unique position, this was decades ago, it really helped my game because like all of a sudden things started to make sense. And now as the game has continued to evolve and there's all this amazing jumping and spinning and rotating and countering, it can get really easy to get lost. But the bottom line is, if you get good at this position and you get good at the basic transitions in and out of it, it's really going to help your entire game. So let me show you what I mean. Very, very, very common situation. So Richie did a forward roll and I followed up to this sitting on the shoulder. What is the sitting on the shoulder? You'll notice I'm not sitting on his body. It's not called sitting on his body. It's called sitting on his shoulder, and maybe should be more correctly called sitting on the place where his shoulder joins his biceps and triceps. My leg is forming a guillotine. My calf is under here and my hamstring is above here, and I am trying to scissor this like a paper cutter. I am trying to squeeze so hard that his hand goes numb. So again, I'm putting all this weight here and I'm really trying to crunch down here. This leg, the way I do it, is usually up, but some people like this leg down. Some people like this leg triangled. All that's fine. And depending on how you get here and how you roll, you may end up with your legs triangled. You may end up with your legs together, and you may end up with your leg out. To me, this is a little bit like the knee mount, where this leg can track, but most of the weight is going to be here. Now, remember the importance of controlling the elbow. If I just sit here, he will eventually be able to pull his arm out. It'll take a while. Go ahead. It'll take a bit longer in gi. It'll be a bit faster in no gi. It depends on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing nothing but spats, if he's really sweaty.
Or oily.
Shh. Yes, Richie, you don't see a lot of sitting on the shoulder in Turkish oil wrestling. That is true. Thank you for
We're gonna change that stuff.
Turkish oil wrestling 2.0.
You were gonna change it.
When I'm here, I need to control the elbow. Notice I'm not holding it here, although that's better than nothing. I'm coming over his forearm with both of my forearms and pulling up on his elbow. I'm also pinching his wrist here. I'm leaning forward and now try and pull that arm out.
Yeah, it's impossible.
He's
really tough.
If he's super strong, he's going to do it eventually, but it'll give me enough time to set up my next attack. The other big mistake that people do here is they leave their arm here. They're trying to be nice. His legs are going to be flailing. He's going to be bringing his legs up. If I leave my hand here and he grabs my wrist, he's going to put his shin in and slingshot me. Go ahead. Maybe even insert an omoplata there, which would be super embarrassing. So you want everything on one side of his body. If I'm sitting on his left shoulder, I want my entire body to be on his left side of his body. Here, I want to have my head down. Again, it'd be embarrassing if my head was up and he leg scissored me. I mean, much as I like catch wrestling, I don't want to get caught in that. A few more points. In reality, you're not going to be here for 30, 40, 50 seconds. You're going to be here for 1 second before you move on to the finish. That being said, it's good to drill this in isolation with a compliant training partner, a willing training partner, because the more comfortable you get at surfing here, controlling the elbow, not losing your balance, beginning to set up your various transitions, the more familiarity you'll have when you just have that 1 second to hit it. You're going to have to be dealing with his legs, right? I said don't leave your arm here because he's going to start invading that space under and that'll be embarrassing. His legs are going to be coming up, they're going to be trying to scissor. One answer is you can abandon the arm and really sit down and go for a toe hold. This is not a high percentage move from this position. But if you were to try and finish it from this position, you would line up your judo chop along the edge of his toes, grab, figure four your arms, and then try and force his toes down into his butt. Notice I'm using my forehead on the back of my hand. If he's unfamiliar with leg locks, you may get him with this. It's unlikely. More likely is you're going to be here, he's going to use his other foot and kick away. But you know what you've done? You've gotten rid of his legs for a second. Now you can go back to the elbow. Now you can finish. You also need to sometimes use this forearm in here. If he's really squirmy, he's really trying to bring this in and high leg his other leg up, yeah, that would suck. He just had a great position and he got out. So while I'm controlling this elbow, if I see that coming, I might block his hips with my forearm. And if he's one of those Gumby guys, if he's that flexible, it's time for me to go and immediately finish the attack. So with that preamble, and hopefully contextualizing the sitting on the shoulder, let's talk about the things that we can do from here. The things that happen all the time, regardless of whether people identify this as a separate position or just instinctively go through it because they're one of these bloody phenoms where everything's easy.